Hey everybody, this is Devin with HDpiano.com, and in today's video we're going to check out the new Ed Sheeran song called How Would You Feel? We're going to check out the main riff in this video, as well as some of the chorus, and the rest of the videos can be found over at HDpiano.com. So here's what we're doing. Okay, that is essentially the main riff, and it is essentially the chorus. There's a few more chords at the end, so that repeats 1/3 time. And that is the end of the chorus. So it's one of those songs where the main riff that makes up the intro comes back and sneaks in to the chorus. I'm curious if you guys can think of any other songs that are like that, where they kind of allude to the chorus at the beginning, you know, an instrumental kind of shout out, but then it comes back and the melody then is played over that instrumental chorus. If you can think of any songs, comment below. I'm curious to see what you guys come up with. So we're in the key of A major. All right, and in the left hand, we're just walking up A, half note, C sharp, half note, D, half note. Sorry, whole note on D. Double the length of the first two. So it's a 2-bar pattern, and the right hand, we're outlining basically an A major triad. If we played a A up at the octave in the left hand, we'd have A in our left, C sharp and E in our right. And that's just an A major triad right there, but we're just dropping that A down an octave to thicken it up. And essentially what's going on is there's this ostinato of the C sharp and the E in the right hand. So before we add that melody, just get that going. Quarter notes on C sharp and E in your thumb and your pointer finger in your right hand over the bass line. And then hold it. And we'll do it nice and slow. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we want to talk about the foundation, this is the simplest possible version. Right? And then what we do on top of that is we use our extraneous fingers over here and play this melody. And then we thicken up that chord there by adding an A and an F sharp above and below our C sharp and E. So what's going on there? We hit this 1, 2, E, and It's a bit of a stretch on the fingers, but 1, 2, E, and 2, E, and So those are 16th notes in the right hand, but we're at a pretty slow tempo, so they don't seem all that fast. So 1, 2, E, and 3, 4, E, and All right, so 2 E, and 4 E, and 2 E, and A, B, and C sharp. And then we just move that a step down the A major scale. And on 4, E, and we play G sharp, A, and B. Okay? So put it all together. 1, 2, E, and 3, 4, E, and then we jump down here and play A, C sharp, E, and F sharp in our right hand. We hold that for 3 beats in the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, E, and 1. So that is beat 4, 4, E, and 1. So we're holding an A and C sharp with our thumb and pointer finger, and our pinky and ring finger are playing this little melody. 4, E, and 1. That's F sharp, E, D, back to E. And when we get back to E, we want to reset to do the melody again. Okay? So we put those two measures together, and it looks like this. 2, 3. And this one's kind of a sparse chord, just a D and a C sharp in the right hand, and we kind of let that melody just ring out in the right hand there. But this is music, and of course we don't have to play it exactly like it was played, because it has kind of a a natural feel to it, something that the pianist just came up with in the moment. I'm not sure if that's Ed playing piano or not, but in any case, any of these D major 7 voicings could work. We could go back down here. You could thin it out, right? You got options. Just mess around, see what you like, and take your pick. All right, so that is our intro. We do 2 loops of that. So one more time. Oops. 2, 3, 4, E and a 1. There's another option there. Okay, and just to recap, our chords are A major over C sharp in the left hand, and then D major 7. All right, and that's pretty much what gets us through this whole song. There's going to be a few new chords introduced in the second video over at HDpiano.com with regards to the pre-chorus, but for the chorus, that's what we're going to do 3 times with some subtle variations. In the chorus, this voicing is played for D major 7, so that's C sharp, E, F sharp, and A in the right hand. Okay, so we repeat that 3 times. Now on the third time, on beat 4, we play this A major 7 over C sharp voicing, right? So C sharp is our bottom note, thus it's over C sharp, and those 4 notes constitute A major 7. That's G sharp and A with our left hand, and C sharp and E with our right hand. Now we play this chord on beat 4, 4, 1, and then we open up to a nice wide B minor 7. B in the left hand, and then a root position, B, D, F sharp, and A in the right hand. And for one measure, we play B minor 7, 4, 1, and we hit E major and just let that ring out. So those are the last 2 measures of the chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Notice on beat 4, I'm re-articulating my left hand, boom, into E major, which we hold, and then we go right back into a verse, which I'll be teaching you guys how to play in the next video. Based on the same chords, but a little simplified so that, the piano part doesn't become too distracting. But you'll notice the main riff is slipped in there throughout the verse, so it's definitely a song that relies heavily on this recurring part. All right, so just to recap, I'm going to play through the chorus, all 8 measures, straight through at a nice slow tempo. So here we go. Two, 3, 4. 2, 3. Here's the third time. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and that repeats back to the verse because there are 3 verses. And in the next video, I'll be showing you guys how to do that, as well as pointing out the variations between each verse and the ending, followed by a performance of the whole song. All right, this is a pretty simple one from Ed Sheeran. Great work, my friends. This is Devin with HDpiano.com. Before we see you over at the site, give us a like on Facebook, HDpiano, or follow us on Instagram and Twitter at HDpiano. We take requests on Twitter using the hashtag HDrequests, and on Instagram, we do a cool thing where if you learn this song or any other song from our catalog and you post a little video, we're happy to repost it and share it with our followers and celebrate your success. All right, we'll see you over at the site. This is Devin, tuning out. Thanks, guys.